is a woman somewhere tonight staring at the ceiling in an empty room. The darkness presses in and the silence is deafening. Her bed is cold not because the night is bitter, but because no one lies beside her. She has heard the whispers of the world. Why is she still alone? What is wrong with her? Does she not deserve love? She has given her best. She has waited, prayed, hoped, and perhaps even cried herself to sleep, and yet she is alone. But I tell you today, she is not forgotten. You see, there is a lie that has been told for generations, that a woman is only complete when she is beside a man, that her worth is determined by a wedding ring and her value is sealed with a last name that is not her own. But what if I told you that a woman alone is still a woman chosen? That the absence of a husband does not mean the absence of a calling. That her story is not a tragedy but a testimony in the making. Some of the most powerful women in history and in Scripture walked alone, but they did not walk without purpose. Some were widows, some were single, some were rejected, and some were abandoned, but not one of them was overlooked by the God who writes every story. And tonight, if you are that woman, if you have ever felt unseen, unworthy, or unloved, this message is for you, because loneliness is not the end of your story. God has so much more waiting for you. Stay with me, because by the end of this message, you will see why your life, exactly as it is, with or without a husband, is part of a divine plan greater than you ever imagined. Would you like me to continue writing the full speech? The silent nights can be the loudest. A woman who sleeps alone with no husband knows this all too well. The world quiets down, the distractions fade, and all that is left is the sound of her own thoughts. She turns over in bed, looking at the empty space beside her, feeling its weight as much as its absence. She wonders if anyone truly sees her, if anyone truly knows the depth of what she carries. She remembers the moments when she hoped, when she dreamed, when she believed that by now life would look different. She has watched friends get married, seen others build families, and yet here she is, alone, not by choice, not because she lacked love to give, but because life simply did not unfold the way she once imagined. And in that silence, a question echoes in her heart. Does my life matter as much without a husband? Loneliness is not just the absence of people. It is the ache of feeling unseen. A woman who walks alone in life often carries a burden that others do not recognize. She sits in gatherings where conversations revolve around marriage and children, and though she smiles, she feels like an outsider. She goes home to a quiet house where no one is waiting to ask how her day was. She faces challenges with no partner to lean on, decisions with no one to help carry the weight. And yet, she endures. Day after day, night after night, she rises again. The world does not applaud her strength, but heaven takes notice. There is something sacred about a woman who learns to stand alone. She may not have a husband beside her, but she has walked through fire and emerged stronger. She has faced heartbreak and kept loving. She has known disappointment and still holds on to hope. She has wrestled with doubt, but refuses to let go of her faith. And that kind of woman, the one who keeps going, who keeps believing, who keeps trusting, even when she does not understand, is a woman God can use in mighty ways. She is not forgotten. She is not invisible. She is not less. The world will try to tell her otherwise. It will whisper that she is incomplete, that something is missing, that she has failed in some way. But those are the voices of a culture that does not understand the power of a woman who walks with God. Because while she may sleep alone, she is never truly alone. In the deepest, loneliest nights, there is one who sees her, one who knows every tear, every longing, every unspoken prayer. And he does not look at her and see a woman who is missing something. He sees a woman who is being prepared for something greater than she ever imagined. She may not know it yet, but every lonely night, every unanswered question, every moment of silence is shaping her into someone stronger than she ever believed she could be. The world has a way of passing judgment on a woman who walks alone. Society watches her with questioning eyes, measuring her worth by the presence or absence of a husband. Family members ask when she will settle down. Friends unintentionally remind her of what she does not have. And the media fills her mind with the idea that love and companionship are the ultimate validation of a woman's existence. She may not say it aloud, but deep within, she wonders if something is wrong with her. Did she miss her moment? Did she make the wrong choices? Is she incomplete because she has no one to call her own? These thoughts weigh heavy, and the world does not make it any easier. The judgment comes in whispers, in side glances, in conversations that subtly suggest she is lacking something essential. But what the world fails to see, God understands in full. While society values status, relationships, and external achievements, God looks at the heart. He does not measure a woman's worth by whether she wears a ring on her finger or shares her last name with another. He does not see her as forgotten or forsaken. Instead, he sees her as chosen, set apart with a purpose far beyond the limitations placed upon her by human expectations. She is not simply a woman who sleeps alone. She is a woman who stands before God with an open heart, ready for whatever He has in store. And that is something far greater than any earthly validation. The problem with the world's judgment is that it assumes a woman is only whole when she is attached to another person. But history and scripture tell a different story. Some of the strongest women to ever walk this earth were not defined by a husband's name, but by their own unwavering faith and courage. Esther was taken into a palace before she ever became a queen, and her strength came not from her position, but from her willingness to stand in the gap for her people. Ruth was widowed, alone in a foreign land, and yet her loyalty and determination led her into a story of redemption she never could have written on her own. Mary Magdalene was not known for her marriage, but for her devotion to Christ, being among the first to witness His resurrection. These women were not judged in the eyes of God the way the world might judge them. They were called, chosen, and set apart. A woman who sleeps alone may carry the weight of judgment, but she does not carry it alone. The one who created her sees beyond what others assume. He knows her late-night prayers, her silent struggles, and the strength it takes to face each day with grace. She is not defined by what the world thinks she lacks. She is defined by the one who has already called her enough. And when she realizes that, the judgment of the world will no longer hold any power over her. The strength of a woman standing alone is often underestimated. The world sees her solitude and assumes weakness, as if the absence of a husband equates to the absence of power. But history and faith tell a different story. Some of the strongest women who ever lived walked paths that were not shared with a spouse. They were leaders, warriors, mothers, and visionaries who found their strength not in the arms of a man, but in the calling placed upon their lives. Strength is not measured by who walks beside you, but by who stands within you. And a woman who sleeps alone, who faces the trials of life without a partner, learns a strength that many will never know. She has felt the weight of the world pressing in, yet she rises. She has had to make decisions without a voice to reassure her. She has carried burdens that were meant to be shared, yet she does not crumble. She has walked into rooms filled with couples, families, and crowds, and still she holds her head high. The world may look at her and see loneliness, but she knows that solitude is not the same as weakness. She has learned to fight battles on her knees, to face uncertainty with faith.